late.
For new subscribers, for the full month of November, you can subscribe to the network, and it will be absolutely free.
Oh my God, that is funny.
There you go.
And who's to say people, they might subscribe for November, but then just drop it after November.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a free month.
Yeah, we got a free month then,
And now here's Tyler Werner and Wade Kirch.
And yes, this Sunday now coming up before the Thanksgiving week, we have the free Survivor Series pay-per-view if you subscribe. So
actually originally aired on Thanksgiving, if I remember right.
Oh, did it? Huh.
Well,
factoid of the day.
I don't think it was a pay-per-view to begin with. I think it was like a TV special they aired on Thanksgiving originally.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, anyways.
But yeah, no. Just in fact, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe if you watch those old ones, the original ones on the WWE Network, the first and second one, I believe you'd hear them say like, "Happy Thanksgiving, everybody."
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we got Survivor Series coming up, obviously, and I guess we'll talk about Raw and I guess the matches that we have coming up for the Survivor Series pay-per-view, which it's kind of only a few really, but
yeah.
But yeah, obviously starting with Monday Night Raw this past week, as usual, the Authority kind of coming out and starting things up with
a logo. Did you notice that? They actually have a logo in their entrance now, finally, for the Authority.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird if they're going to drop the whole Authority gimmick after the Sunday.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, anyways, so, they came out and, they kind of talk about this whole thing about how, I guess whoever whoever goes against the Authority, their career is basically going to be in trouble after Survivor Series.
Yep.
And, I mean, they brought up about Ryback, about potentially, the kind of the trouble he caused last week at the end of Raw. And, but then Ryback kind of just said, he's neutral. He's, he does what's best for Ryback or whatever. And he kind of walked out there. So, at that point I guess you were wondering, everybody's wondering still, he still might get back into, this storyline by the end of the night. So, I guess more on that later. But, obviously, the goal for tonight for the Authority was basically, we're going to, just start destroying Team Cena tonight. And, obviously that they kind of started off with that with Dolph Ziggler's Intercontinental Championship being put on the line.
Against Luke Harper?
Yeah, against Luke Harper. Well, you didn't learn that it was on the line until after the commercial break. Suddenly it's like, oh, Dolph Ziggler's championship has now been put on the line according to the Authority. And, between some attacks from, the
Rollins,
the members and, Ziggler was hanging in there, but, eventually Luke Harper with that spinning clothesline and became the new Intercontinental Championship or the new Intercontinental Champion. What do you think of that? I mean, it's nice to have a new face hold the championship. It's somebody from the Wyatt family.
Former Wyatt family. They're no
longer that's true.
They're no longer a family anymore. They're their own guys now.
Right.
As we also learn later on in the show. I'm happy for Luke. I mean, I knew as soon as he broke up, I knew that, which I still think was a bad idea to begin with, but I knew he had the most potential probably out of between him and Rowan. I mean, the guy can go.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's got to say more than just I'm a team player in that now. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, a new champion is always great, but at the same time, I always feel like when it comes to the Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion, maybe not so much of Rusev now, but usually they go on a massive losing streak against challengers, and then they end up being depicted as losers then eventually.
Yeah. I hope that's not the case with Luke Harper, because I think, it's nice to have like a new face be the Intercontinental Champion, and kind of same with the U.S. Champion after Rusev won it last week.
Yeah.
So
actually, Team Authority has more gold around their waist than their team pretty much.
Right.
Right now.
Yeah, as of this week.
Oh, keep in mind too, another key aspect though was no John Cena to come out and help Ziggler at all.
Yeah, I was thinking the same, that like you had that, and then later on you had Big Show tapping out and supposedly going
Sheamus getting his ass kicked in the outside.
Sheamus, who was I guess then sent to a local hospital.
Which apparently so was Ziggler, but apparently Ziggler was able to come back and get cleared for
and all this time, Cena's like backstage, like not caring. It like goes back over the summer when what was it? Roman Reigns and John Cena were, they were just like standing out in the ring when,
Yeah.
Kane and, Dean Ambrose was getting destroyed backstage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of like harkens back to that.
Oh, and
back
his
in-
girlfriend Nikki Bella was getting her ass kicked
Yeah.
this summer too. It's like worst boyfriend ever.
Yeah, they just stand there and it's
What is going on back there?
Nothing really.
It's I was like, Cena's always been accused of being the Superman. It's like, no, Superman actually saves lives.
Yeah,
Who has John Cena saved recently?
yeah,
I mean, it was like the authorities said, oh, the guy's banned from ringside. And even then, I mean, made for the match. But by the time Rollins came in to curb stop Ziggler, the match was over. It was just, and yet no Cena whatsoever.
No, yeah,
Like, not even after the curb stop. He just nowhere to be found.
yeah.
And it's kind of funny, though, too. They showed that Ryback footage of the last time which I always find issue when they bring up past footage. First of all, the fact that even a year ago, John Cena was still telling jokes.
Yeah.
And that's I always want to look back and see how much Cena's character really has not changed in even a year's time.
Yeah.
But no, the fact that the biggest reason why Ryback said that he like turned on John Cena is because Cena never helped him once when he got his ass kicked by the Shield.
Yeah.
And it's like, so how's this
like
guy?
ironically.
How's this guy a good guy again?
Yeah. Yeah.
And more importantly, how is anybody on his team like have this guy's back when it clearly feels like he doesn't have his back? You mind? It's a good excuse for somebody to turn heel maybe on his team Sunday as almost a way to say, well, you never helped me, dude.
Yeah.
Why the hell am I going to help you?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's throughout the night I'm like wondering, all right, first Ziggler, now then Sheamus and Big Show, and it's like, where I mean, I could just hear Ryback saying to my, where were you, John, and all that, but so I mean between that stuff, I mean, you had your usual tag team action, I guess with Gold Dust, and I don't know, that's obviously that's not really a focal point right now. With all this Team Authority and Team Cena
it's going to be
stuff.
a Fatal 4-Way match in that.
Yeah,
so.
tagged. Yeah.
And
then I don't know. I guess Nikki and Brie Bella.
Mm-hmm.
Having her dressed as AJ Lee and out there in the ring and getting a surprise win. I guess in this during this time where she has to be, Brie's assistant.
At least for the month of November, Tyler.
What? Yeah, at least the month of November. Yeah.
Which means when December comes around, this feud just picks right back up again.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, this feud really has gotten less and less screen time than it did originally.
Yeah.
Which is it's a good thing.
Yeah, no
good
problems.
Thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah, no problems with that.
I agree.
No, I wish he died in the womb and everything.
Yeah, no Jerry Springer.
No Jerry Springer.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'm actually glad they actually have maybe pushed this feud to the side a little bit there. It's still clearly occurring. I mean, why not? Who else in the Divas division actually is going to have a feud?
It's just way down on the pecking order now.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. I mean, now, of course, you also had that Rusev promo. Well, Rusev coming out and of course you had Lana.
Yep.
I bet that was your favorite. That had to be your favorite part of the show.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I was pissed off that no one that there wasn't. I mean, I saw some guys trying to get a massive yes chat going when she said, "You want to see my nude photos, everybody?"
Yeah.
But it's like some guys. There was some guys saying no, and I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah,
you clearly don't know what's good for you at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you had to know that, they weren't going to show really a top, but then they, they kind of pull a fat, and
I kind of wish they would have showed something different than.
Yeah.
I mean, really, we're still talking about Vladimir Putin riding, on the horse with no shirt on. Was it like? Did it finally come out like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, fine, you want to do a Vladimir Putin joke, but do like a recent one, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like a meme, an internet meme, maybe like what 2 years ago, maybe. So it just was so outdated.
Yeah.
Speaking of internet memes, what was your thought on Gropey Cat?
Oh, that being like the special get. Yeah, I didn't. Well, I don't even know.
Well, it's an internet meme. First of all.
I think I've seen a few.
I mean, keep in mind the cat can't control doing it. I think the cat has some disease. I forget what it.
Yeah.
I forget.
It's not your usual cat.
Yeah, but no, but even though it wasn't really making that face a lot, it was actually kind of falling asleep. It looked like so. Even Gobi Cat looked at 3 hours of Raw and said, "Oh God, I can't stay awake for this
Yeah.
one."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
No, but it was. I mean, could it was because Gobi Cat's got this Lifetime movie, which even for a Lifetime movie, I saw the trailer on YouTube one time for it. It is terrible. It's a
Yeah.
terrible movie, but it's a Lifetime movie, so clearly female demographic and so on. And I don't know. I was expecting maybe like, okay, Gobi Cat's going to show up there. It's obviously they're not going to bring the actual cat out to the ring because it is an actual cat. Gobi Cat is an actual cat. They're not going to bring it out to the ring because the cat's just going to freak out probably.
Yeah.
Right. So I knew it was going to be backstage somewhere. And sure enough, it was, and all the cat was doing was just laying there. But the fact that in the movie Gobi Cat, the cat talks. It's voiced by like Aubrey Plaza or something like that. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe they got Aubrey Plaza to come in, maybe say a few lines and that. And nope, all of a sudden, it's just you got the Miz talking, and they just zoom in on the cat. And it's kind of like, oh, the cat might say something. Nope, just stares into the camera or slowly maybe falls asleep. Maybe.
Yeah.
I always felt like there was like somebody in the back every time the cat fell asleep there, like maybe just trying to like maybe shake something just to wake it up. I'm serious, Tom.
Yeah.
Watch those close-ups and the cat's like kind of like leaning over and falling asleep. So I don't know. I mean I was expecting much from it, but even then it was just what was the point?
Yeah.
Because they got like poor Sandow and Miz here, and they're just like talking to a cat.
Yeah.
And they're waiting for a cat to respond. They're waiting for a cat to respond back to him too. So I don't know. I thought it was kind of. I thought it was kind of pointless when all said and done. But I felt bad for the cat. I was waiting. I was waiting for just Peter to come up with a story saying this was animal cruelty, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got the phone in the background.
It doesn't always ring in that,
Yeah.
but
But yeah, I mean, but yeah, the Lana segment was pretty. I thought that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then she's like strutting around in her high heels and
Yes.
showing off the legs and.
Yes, the god legs, legs, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you want to see. I can't. I'm not gonna do the accent, but yeah, it was a good segment definitely. Yeah, it's one of those curveball. Not something you get every day for Monday Night Raw. So it was nice.
Oh, it wasn't the curveball that they threw at the end of the show, though.
Well, yeah. Yeah, which I guess we'll get to. I mean,
which was kind of both good and bad at the same time.
Yeah. Well, first of all, obviously the authority out there, this contract signing.
Yes, even though no one really signed the contract
during
this segment here, so I don't know when this contract.
But I guess they had an excuse to have like a covered table out there that somebody was going to go through, as usual.
Punk even joked about that when that he said, "Look, I know how these things go down. Someone always goes through this table."
Yeah. Yeah, and still to this day, it's pretty true.
Which is why when the show came out for their contract sign, they immediately threw the table out of the ring.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not going for a table.
Yeah, so yeah, you had the authority out there, and as you would usually expect, kind of much of the same as earlier. We got this dream team and whatever else, and and then they basically invited out John Cena, and Team Cena at this point, it was kind of just John Cena at this point, because everybody else was taken out. So and like even leading up to that, like when there's they had the contract signing, coming up next, they just had John Cena on the one side.
Well, yeah, which
is hilarious.
Give them credit for doing that. They actually were like following
the
events.
Okay, everybody else is taken out. Team Cena, which basically looks like just John Cena now.
Yeah.
So but yeah, John Cena comes out and. I don't know. This is actually, in recent memory, one of my favorite promo works from John Cena. I don't know about you. Mainly when he was like sitting outside the ring.
I thought it was memorable when that Troy gave the best reaction to a John Cena promo.
Yeah, kind of like fell asleep. Yeah, I thought that added to it. No, but like the part where, then at this point Stephanie Man or whatever you're gonna look pretty hungry and. Then I'll feed you sexual chocolate and,
I I don't know. I'm gonna get sick and tired of the sexual chocolate jokes with Mark Henry.
Yeah. I mean, I know.
Especially since he's supposed to be this bad man now.
Yeah.
Again. This is one reason why no one really takes Mark Henry serious, because the company would always flip flop with this guy.
Yeah, and then everybody.
First he's a comedy character, then he's supposed to be serious. It's almost like the Big Show even. Guy's comedy, then he's serious. And he's comedy.
Yeah.
You can only do it so many times to the point where it's like no one takes this guy serious anymore when he comes out.
Yeah.
No matter how big the guy is. Even the great Khali fell for that pretty much. By the way,
And
best for future endeavors. Yeah. We can probably talk about that after all. But no, I mean, honestly, it was a generic John Cena promo, Tyler.
I mean, no, I mean, it's just like a couple of the bits and
what, the whole fact that I'm gonna pick this guy, and this guy from the audience to be my team in that.
well, not that, no, not that part, but like when he was sitting down in the chair and just like cracking the bits that, triple, Luke Harper came from a swamp and just that random stuff, but yeah, I mean, obviously it was, other than that, it was kind of some typical Cena stuff. We'll pick this guy out of the, these kids out of the audience.
Yeah, and they'll beat you because they got heart.
Yeah.
Even though they got no muscle or height or size.
Or wrestling abilities.
Wrestling abilities.
Yeah.
Or probably insurance because they're gonna need it.
So then, Cena's back in the ring and, and he's just like talking and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, Stephanie McMahon just nails him with a slap.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, and obviously, you can't hit a woman, so, but yet he rips his shirt. He's like, all right, that's it, let's go. And then he wants to just fight
Yeah, and then, and of course they're like saying, oh yeah, okay, John, sure, whatever. It's 5-on-1.
Yeah.
And anyway, and then of course Ziggler comes out. Even though apparently he went to the hospital and apparently he got cleared out. Apparently whatever he had was not that.
He's
severe.
he's like holding his neck. Yeah, holding his head.
Well, that's the thing there too. I take some of these guys gonna come in limping from Cena's team as well.
Yeah.
Which I think was still the goal of the Authority. Either these guys were gonna get destroyed tonight, or they were gonna come in limping.
Yeah.
Well, so Ziggler comes out, kind of shocked he was the first guy to come out, but he is. And then Big Show comes out, kind of limping to the ring as well.
Yeah.
And then, common knowledge would say Sheamus is the next guy to follow.
Yeah. Well,
But then all of a sudden, you hear Luke Harper's theme play. And give some of the guys some credit. They always looked at Luke Harper, and even Luke Harper gives a reaction like, look at me.
Erick Rowan, you mean?
No, but that's Luke Harper's theme as well.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Because they were a tag team, Tyler. So,
I didn't even think of that, but yeah.
And it still is his theme, which
So
makes you wonder who's going to have to change their theme probably. And honestly, I would say Rowan, because even at the end of the day, Rowan. I mean, I don't know. I'll probably watch SmackDown this week. He's gonna go 1-on-1 with Cesaro. I'd be interested to see how that match goes down. But the guy just he doesn't wrestle. I mean, the only thing going for him is the sheet masks that he wears and that. And the fact that he's a babyface now, I think hurts him more than helps him.
Yeah.
Because what redeeming qualities has this guy ever done to make him a worthy babyface? So at the end of the day, Harper's still the go-to guy. I mean, granted, everybody thought Morrison was the go-to guy over the Miz. The Miz turned out to be the better performer in that.
Yeah. Although they could have an interesting feud with.
Well, yeah,
and that could be it. But
I see that happening too. In that, but at the end of the day,
Luke Harper's got.
But no, I mean, I think Harper gets the best reaction because he hears his theme song and he's going, and everybody's like looking at him and he's like, look at me, kind of like. And all of a sudden, he comes Rowan coming out of the ring, which I meant was shocking, surprising. It kind of made sense.
Yeah, because
his former partner is in the ring, and the way that he was reacting to it, it felt like he was pissed off at his former partner, more or less. I don't know where in their history Rowan got jealous of Harper or pissed off at Harper, but apparently that was the reason. So naturally, people started to get a Ryback chant going. Grant, that's something I got to say, though, Tyler, too. These 2-3 weeks in that, a Ryback there, if this guy's supposed to be number 2 babyface, it's kind of failing right now based on crowd reaction.
Well, yeah.
I mean, and part of that's WWE's part because the last 2 weeks, and even most of the show, we don't really know whether this guy was a face or a heel.
Yeah, he's been like a tween. Yeah, I mean, he's been like a tweener.
Yeah, but it's like it's almost like kind of more heelish than tweener. I mean, the guy attacked.
He did
Cena.
Spinebuster Cena, and whatever.
Yeah, and then this week he's. I mean, keep in mind, I kind of hated the opening bit with the Authority because Ryback didn't really say anything. Yeah, he just stood there and took it and then just walked away.
Yeah, it's kind of it's like
it's kind of really
what happened last week too.
It's kind of a weak
They need to have him. Yeah.
It's kind of a weak reason to care about this guy. I was digging the backstage segment with Cena because it felt like it was actually Ryback saying. I mean, great. I think it's still all scripted at the end of the day. I think these guys are all following a script at the end of the day. I don't think any of these guys are winging it really out there. And
but
I think the only time these guys might be able to get away with it maybe is these YouTube videos that they post up like from Raw Fallout now, because I don't think the writing staff follows these videos.
Yeah.
Really, I wish they would, and maybe see these promos and say we gotta see them cut these promos more. But the Ryback bit in the back was a little more. It was better with Cena more than out there. But I think the more shocking one was his match with Cesaro.
Yeah.
The crowd was dead.
Yeah, and it was a pretty good, decent length match.
It was kind of sloppy too.
I mean, yeah, a little sloppy.
I think Ryback was trying to go too fast. It felt like these guys were trying to speed up the match faster. But it's tough for Ryback. Yeah. He's not the fast of a guy. Yeah. He's a big guy, and Cesaro tried his best there. But there were a few occasions there where I'm like that was sloppy right there. That was just sloppy. But at the end of the day, I mean, great, man, it's because people knew that Cesaro was going to lose, because why not? That's all the guy's really ever done lately. Which I still think it has to go with that whole story of that he said in an interview, everybody's sick and tired of seeing John Cena and Randy Orton for the 100th time in that, and all of a sudden, because that's the two go-to guys in the company, we're going to punish this guy more here, and it's... But no, I mean, so anyway, I mean, as far as my concern goes, I think the Ryback experience has been a failure so far. It doesn't mean they can't turn around. Granted, I'm anxious to see where this guy goes after this feud.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully he's obviously has a key role in this tag team match, which, I guess we'll talk about later.
But anyway, so then we come off this amazing twist with Erick Rowan. Everybody's assuming Ryback. And it's kind of a small chant, not really a big chant.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Cesaro's music hits. Which kind of it wasn't like shocking like Rowan coming out. It was kind of like, okay, well, I didn't see that coming there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that. But then Cesaro kind of smiles, then walks to the Authority, shakes hands, and just leaves the ring then.
Yeah.
And all I can say here is that Vince McMahon must be an M. Night Shyamalan fan. Because it went from a great surprise to let's just be dicks to the crowd surprise, pretty much. Because that's all it came off as. Did help Cesaro's credibility, because all he really did was he came out, he stood next to Cena.
Pretended he was,
smiled, shook hands with Triple H for some reason, and then just walked out. He wasn't even involved in the final brawl. He just walked to the back.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess, that team Authority was already full on one hand, but yeah, I mean, then he just...
But it's like, what was the point of that?
Yeah.
And you guys saying like, oh, he fooled you, John, ha.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, look at your face in that. And it's like, yeah, well my face was that this was a Vince... I mean, it's kind of funny there when I always hear stories here where Vince hates these internet sites with wrestling so much because they sometimes will spoil endings to main events. And just to fool the internet sometimes, he will just swerve a match. Just to swerve it. Even though the match is predictable sometimes, he'll swerve it.
Yeah.
Just to be a dick to the fans who might know that the finish of the match in that. Even though the finish might make sense in that. But he'll just swerve it just for the hell of it. Just to say, aha, fooled you, internet.
Yeah.
And that felt like one of these moments here. It was just... Okay, everyone's expecting Ryback, and all of a sudden Cesaro comes out for no apparent reason. No reason. He wasn't joining Team Authority. He wasn't joining Team C. He just came out just to really, as a way of saying, fuck you guys, pretty much. Like I say, it's almost like, I keep hearing like Vince always say, like, well, Monday Night Raw is a massive movie every week. Well, if it is, it's a shitty movie. I mean, can you imagine Tyler? This guy was a director for a motion picture. Really.
Yeah, there's a lot of filler, in these movies, I guess.
No, but in every movie, Tyler, usually the ending's predictable, and the movies are supposed to be predictable because you want to send the people who paid the money for the ticket to watch the movie home happy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Vince though? He'll probably just. I think some of us have joked about this one time. He says if he directed the Twilight movie, for example, which keep in mind, I think is a shitty movie, shitty book, and I think the fans are shitty people to begin with. But he directed. Let's say he directed the Twilight movie. if Vince directed Twilight, he would kill off all the main characters in the first 20 minutes of the movie there just to tell the audience who probably even read the book and know the ending to the whole book and the movie series because they read the books and that, just to tell them, ha! Fooled all of you guys. Guys, the books are going to help you in these movies whatsoever. Just to piss them off. But also just to say, ha! Fooled you. Wasn't as predictable as you thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Or more importantly, if he directed maybe Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit films, he'll just change the ending. Frodo dies. Sauron wins. Fooled all of you guys.
Yeah.
Fuck what the book says. That the movie's mostly based off of. Like I said, it felt like an M. Night Shyamalan. And bad M. Night Shyamalan, too. Erick Rowan was Sixth Sense M. Night Shyamalan here. This was just The Happening, After Earth, Signs. I'm just naming any shitty Shyamalan movie I can think of. The Last Airbender. I mean, that's what the Cesaro bit was. It was an M. Night Shyamalan moment. It was a swerve for no apparent reason. It went from a good swerve to a bad one. Keep in mind, I have no idea where the hell Sheamus is going to do now.
Yeah. But yeah, and then of course, Ryback's music hit after a little, and obviously, officially joined Team Cena, I guess, here, and then the brawl started. And of course, like Ryback eventually would, have this stare down with Triple H, and then Cena would, do an AA to Triple H through that table, like kind of like we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
What always happens, like CM Punk says.
Mm-hmm.
So and that closed Monday Night Raw, and that I guess that kind of leads us into Survivor Series.
Well, how about this? Before we do that, we should probably spoil something that happened on SmackDown.
All right, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, because it's between that too. So,
I mean, y'all aware what I'm talking about, right?
I didn't look it up yet.
Okay.
Happened, so
on this coming Friday SmackDown, spoiler alert, by the way.
Yeah, spoiler.
On this Friday SmackDown, they added a new they added another stipulation to this main event, which I think was keep in mind, when you hear stipulation, it's a stupid stipulation to add to this match. Because it might have just spoiled the ending to this match, too. But then again, who knows it, really. But once again, this all goes down to the whole Vince McMahon. I think let's try to swerve the hell out of the crowd as much as humanly possible. Even when it comes to building up a match, sometimes it doesn't need this or that really added to it. Triple H announces that, and this is probably due to the fact that he got pissed off that he got thrown through an announce table, he said, pretty much the Team Cena's face. They were on a stage. At least all four of them were. John Cena was nowhere to be found on SmackDown. Once again, kind of a dickish captain right there then. But Triple H pretty much says, hey, if you guys lose, your team loses. All of you are out of a job. So pretty much, if Team Cena loses, Tyler, Team Cena is fired. All of Team Cena is fired. Ryback's fired. Erick Rowan's fired. Dolph Ziggler's fired. Big Show's fired, and of course John Cena's fired. So naturally, you would assume this means they're going over on Survivor Series because we all know what happens in these firing storylines of John Cena. Now, great, the guy could still lose, but we still know what's going to happen. What? Well, the last two firing angles for Cena, what happened? He never missed a Raw. The next one was even the stupidest one. He would show up in his I remember that. He'd show up in his wrestling gear, even though he's not a wrestler anymore, technically. Security would never escort him out of the building. He would just show up randomly in that. Behind the scenes. I remember the one time there, the Nexus were in the ring, and Cena was on the big screen on one time. And it's just, why? He's not an employee.
Yeah.
Why would a WWE employee have John Cena say, hey, put the camera on me here. I want to go to the big screen here. And the guy says, okay, John, sure. I mean, tell you don't work here anymore, and I'm a WWE employee, and you're not a WWE employee, and that's illegal to do. But I mean, and then of course the CM Punk angle where he wasn't even fired for even one day. I remember Triple H comes back and says, "Well, Vince," turns out the board says, "Oh, you're fired."
Yeah.
Come on, I can see a similar bit happening here where they fire. Cena loses, the authority's still in power, but all of a sudden, Vince comes out and says, well, the board actually doesn't like the fact that you just fired 5 guys off the roster. Yeah. And you're going to, and it turns out they don't think you're confident enough. So you, as of right now, you are no longer in power of Raw, pretty much.
And yet, ironically,
Which if that's the case, makes watching the pay per view completely pointless.
right now, yeah. And it makes it quite ironic then that, yet Vince has the power to make this match with the Team Authority and Team Cena.
Exactly.
It's like he can put him out of power. It's like,
doesn't he have authority over the authority? It's because I'm trying to say.
It's like at least according to that promo a few years ago when Triple H said, But I don't know. I mean, guess we'll see.
Well, the whole point of the promo was that Vince's character was no longer in charge of day-to-day operations of the company, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to explain why he doesn't show. He shows us sporadically in that. Granted, at the end of the day, he's still and the words Triple H,
chairman of the board. Yeah.
He's still the decider. At the end of the day, if you're pissed off at an angle or this, it's all on Vince. Because even if it wasn't his idea, he approved of the idea.
Yeah.
It means he liked the idea. So at the end of the day, it's Vince's mind. And Troy, like I said, the fact that he's been saying that publicly is still like, hey, if there's an idea out, it's usually Vince's idea.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's his. Doesn't matter what Troy says. Doesn't even matter what he says. He might fight Vince tooth and nail on some stuff, and he has in the past, supposedly. But at the end of the day, it's Vince's decision. I mean,
yeah.
But like I said, no. So it's a stupid angle. At the same time, I hear people still saying, "Well, Team Authority could still win because really, what
they could figure something. Yeah, I mean,
they'll figure some loophole out to keep John Cena on television for a few more weeks." I mean, keep in mind here. Why would you just create a new logo for the Authority if they're going to get fired on Survivor? If they're going to lose their jobs on after Survivor Series? It makes no sense. But then again, this is WWE. Who knows really?
Yeah.
As I said earlier, this is Vince McMahon here. He'll just swerve sometimes, just to swerve something, even if it doesn't need this stipulation or that stipulation or this result or that result. I don't know. Just brought it up. I think it's kind of a stupid deal to the match. But again, at the same time, I think the whole match is kind of stupid itself to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, and that's kind of like all the pretty much Survivor Series. That's basically what this pay-per-view's, based around. I mean, does anybody even care about any of the other matches on this card?
I don't know. Do you care about Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt?
I mean, there's been little attention to that. That's the thing.
Well, but like I said, I mean, the company. As I said earlier, the company was never really high on the company was never really high on Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to care more about it.
He's the third wheel, and when he got the attention given to him, they turned him into a comedy character pretty much. Yeah. Came out with a food cart. He squirted ketchup and mustard and Randy Orton and Kane.
Eating a hot dog.
He ate a hot dog. He ripped up a mannequin. For whatever reason. Yeah. I mean. There's crazy and then there's just stupid, and they just it's kind of funny now when they want people take Dean serious now. I think it's broken. They want people to take Bray serious too. Here's a shocker too, Tyler. Luke Harper beat Bray Wyatt to a title.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Yeah,
I think everybody thought maybe Bray had a better shot then, but again, there's been some people saying maybe Bray Wyatt's kind of lost the favor of the company too. Yeah, I mean, I think one of the weirdest things is that every time this guy cuts a promo now, you hear what chants in the background and so on. And the excuse from a lot of fans online is they think the character's stale. They think Bray says the same shit in every promo. And just like it doesn't work for John Cena, it doesn't work for Bray Wyatt either, no matter if the guy's a heel or a face. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, we even forgot to mention that on Raw because it's like they pay so little attention to it. It's like, you almost forget about that.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's, at least in my opinion, it's a bit of a shame because it's, two talented guys. And, WWE's kind of, found ways to make people care about them less, I guess, at least for right now. So yeah, I guess it's, maybe the second biggest match on the card, but it's for the most part. I mean, the card is it's all Team Authority and Team Cena here. So and I know that's the point of Survivor Series, but again, you give a pay-per-view away for free, and I would have thought maybe
for new subscribers.
For new subscribers, yeah. That's
me are still paying $9.99 here, so we're still a paying customer.
Yeah, not for of course, not for us, but
I just think somebody owes us an explanation. That's all.
They made that clear, but but yeah, for everybody else, you get this this pay-per-view for free to try the WWE Network out for free, and it's you got the Team Authority Team Cena match, and then it's kind of that's it. I mean, maybe you would have wanted a better effort, I guess, if you want to get people, if you're that desperate to get people to subscribe to the network. But I guess
I don't know. Like I said, it's free for new people. Would be shocked if they try to have Team Cena go over just to keep the fans happy. Even though, like I said, I'm a paid subscriber, I would be happy if Team Cena won.
Yeah.
I would be shocked that nobody even turned on the man because really they have every reason to turn on this guy.
Yeah.
Maybe except for Erick Rowan because he never got his ass kicked. But I should say it. SmackDown ends with Team Cena getting their asses kicked, and particularly Ryback gets his ass kicked. He even gets pedigreed by Triple H, which, like I said, maybe Team Authority does lose because maybe they decide they're not going to do this Authority struggle feud at Mania now. Because, as I said earlier, Rock's going to be filming a movie supposedly around March with Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
So he's not going to have time to do a match. And keep in mind, the last time he did his last two matches, he got hurt in both of them.
Yeah.
Which, lucky for him, didn't really affect his filming that much. But still. Well, I actually should have said, WrestleMania 29, they had to push back the filming of Hercules like 4 to 6 weeks because he had to recover from his injuries temporarily. So, and like I said, at the end of the day, filming is his number one goal right now. Wrestling is second. He'll come back, do appearances, like that's what he's willing to do. But I think a match, you'll be lucky if you get another one, maybe.
Yeah.
But so clearly Triple H needs somebody to feud with. So, I mean, honestly, I said Sting's a good option if Sting's wrestling. But I don't know. It sounds like they might be pushing for a Ryback feud, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it is close. Hell, I mean, after Survivor Series time, it's only 3 more weeks, and then it's TLC, and then it's the Rumble, and by then you usually start seeing Mania storylines getting developed. So I would be shocked if that's the Ryback's route for Mania is against Triple H.
Yeah. Speaking of, I guess the coming month of December, before we make predictions for Survivor Series, it sounds like there's a chance now that Roman Reigns might come back a little early and come back in the month of December. I don't know if you heard about that.
Well, I also heard Brock's making appearances. They can on 2 Raws before TLC, which made even some people think they're going to have the match at TLC now. See, here's the thing with Brock now is the fact that there's a lot of people in the company starting to say, well, maybe putting him on the belt wasn't a good idea. Also, if he doesn't sign with the company again next year, should we really have a main event or pay-per-view, or big pay-per-view? It's kind of weird having a guy leaving the company the next day. Main event your main pay-per-view, even though he's putting over, I guess, a young guy, but no, I don't know. It's kind of weird there that Brock, they might actually be getting rid of Brock. And keep in mind now, it's not just UFC now. Apparently, Bellator is trying to get Brock Lesnar now.
Yeah.
The MMA promotion on Spike now, which I feel like it's kind of like more of professional wrestling than MMA, but
yeah,
because I saw the Stephan Bonner Tito Ortiz one, and that finish was straight up professional wrestling. How even the rounds in between. I mean, Todd, they even added like a professional wrestling like entrance ramp for the Bellator fighters to come out to, and they had like. Stephan Bonner came out and had like a rapper band like singing his entrance theme coming out, and then for Tito Ortiz they had like an American flag and a Mexican flag. He had like a little kid like a little kid choir singing the Pledge of Allegiance coming out. It was like straight up character pro wrestling characters pretty much. It was completely different from a UFC fight where it's just okay, a theme's playing and these guys are just walking out, and it's kind of like a tunnel, not really an entrance ramp. And they're just walking to the octagon and that. But not to mention the fact that like it was a split decision when it should have been like a unanimous decision. It was straight up professional wrestling, it felt like. But either way, it did high ratings because Tito Ortiz can still sell it. I mean, he is still this highly entertaining guy kind of behind the scenes. Granted, I think he's kind of a douchebag in real life as well. Yeah. But like I said, Bellator supposedly says that they want Brock maybe. They're dead serious about competing with the UFC for the MMA spot in that. And Spike's gotten behind Bellator more than TNA, who, by the way, has officially been dropped from Spike now, officially. Last night was the final show, and at least they got picked up for Destination America. I don't have it, but TNA did sign a new TV deal for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
Who is this?
So I don't know. I don't know what that means, but we'll see what that happens with them with Destination America. But I mean, with the whole scenario of Brock, I would be surprised if he just drops it at TOC maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll wait and see. I mean,
I think the other thing hurting Brock too is his buy rates have gone down when he's been on pay-per-view, and for the amount they're paying him per appearance, there's people saying it's not adding up right now, especially when they want to start cutting any like loose ends in that. So maybe they just say, Brock, you're just not worth the money right now.
Yeah.
And we're in financial problems right now due to the network, and we might just cut ties with you right now. Look, Dana White is interested in hiring him, and clearly now it sounds like Bellator is interested in hiring him. Now, granted, Brock's going to try to get the highest paid position ever he can. He's going to use all three of these guys to leverage a higher price because he is a businessman at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And a brilliant one at that. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, so at the end of the day, I would be shocked if it's John Cena, Roman Reigns then. But then again, I keep hearing Hulk Hogan recently for WrestleMania 31 press conference said, I'm wrestling at WrestleMania 31 too.
Yeah.
He says, I'm in the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
The knee replacement and the back surgery say otherwise, but Hogan's telling everybody he's wrestling at 31, and he keeps saying he wants to wrestle John Cena. So, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen right now. Hulk Hogan might perform. Sting might perform. I mean, I'd favor Sting over Hogan any day of the week right now because Sting, at least, I think, is in better health and so on. Will Sting wrestle The Undertaker? If not, who will he actually wrestle against? I mean, honestly, I can't even pick the card right now.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a few months ago I could, but there's been so many injuries and no guarantee. I mean, it sounds like I still don't even know if Daniel Bryan's even performing in Mania this year either because he's been telling people that he's still not going to go for a second surgery yet. He still thinks he can recover. His arm strength can come back without surgery. So I still don't know where most of these guys are at right now.
Yeah, it's a puzzle right now, but
anyway, I guess our predictions for Survivor Series quick. I guess.
Yeah.
Pre-show, Fandango's going to lose. Whoever comes back. I don't know who they're going to have come back. It's not going to be anybody big. It's the pre-show.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not expecting anybody. But maybe Rob Van Dam comes back. I mean, I would call that like a big return, though. I mean, I know Jericho's been making live event appearances in that, but based on my knowledge, he has not signed a new deal with WWE yet. He might in the future, but right now he hasn't signed a deal yet. It's not Barry's Barrett. He's just going to be there being an analyst.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, but I heard Fandango's losing to that person. I don't know. This match has not been confirmed yet, but I almost feel like they're going to do an Adam Rose versus Bunny match.
Yeah, I mean, it's what we've seen on Raw.
I'm curious who's under the bunny costume now. I'm curious who they're going to go with there. Obviously, in the past, it was like Sami Zayn and so on, but supposedly in the end, it's supposed to be Darren Young. It's supposed to be returning Darren Young. So whatever, the bunny wins, and maybe we learn that it's Darren Young under the mask probably.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's fine. And then actual.
Okay.
Matches that have meaning other than those two.
Let's see. The Divas elimination match is big and firm. It's Team Alicia Fox versus Team Paige, which if you haven't paid attention, that's due to the fact that Paige turned on Alicia Fox now in the past. Like they were originally BFFs, but then she beat her up one time. So it's kind of a small storyline, but still it's a match on the card. So, I'll go Team Paige probably just over Team Alicia Fox. But once again, it's not a big match. Fatal 4-way for the championship. I want to probably see Sandow and Miz win.
Tag team, yeah.
But at the same time, I want to see Sandow get away from Miz eventually. And they clearly been teasing the fact that Sandow is way more over than the Miz is right now. He's the stunt double. So I see a split happening eventually there. And even the Miz is even like teasing it, if you notice that too. I mean, when you hear like we want Sandow chants, Miz is kind of hearing them, and he's like, "You want him tagged in? You want him tagged in?" And I was he's like, "Forget about it," and he gets booed. So I give Miz credit; he's listening to the crowd reactions out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Stardust and Goldust retaining the belt. I don't see the Usos getting the belt back. I don't. I mean, it's kind of funny how the Usos, after they lost the belts, have lost kind of. They really are not promoted on television anymore.
Yeah, at all.
I mean, there was a brief moment when they were BFFs with John Cena, but that was temporarily.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go Goldust and Stardust, or as as it's just known as now for Goldust. It's Gold and Stardust. So apparently his ring name now is just Gold,
Yeah.
not even Stardust, Goldust anymore. But the brothers, the Rhodes brothers retained the belts pretty much. Let's see. Nikki Bella versus AJ. It's actually an interesting one here because I know about the whole Total Divas rule in effect, but I don't know if you heard about this, Tyler. AJ might be leaving the company after Survivor Series.
Yeah.
It was reported on C Scoops originally, like early in the week, and originally they weren't going to report on it because they didn't buy it. But then Dave Meltzer came out and said, "No, he can see it. He can see that being the case. That AJ just wants to leave the company." I mean, really, who could blame her? Who based on who her husband is right now? So, and once again, there really is no guarantee whether this whole Total Divas rule was even in effect anymore. And granted, they haven't even started filming the third season yet, so they can easily have someone like Nikki hold onto the belt and then drop it quickly to somebody else. And like I said, clearly they're continuing the Nikki Brie feud. Maybe maybe Brie helps out Nikki winning the championship, and Nikki's kind of wondering for a while. Obviously Brie's her kind of slave for a month and that, but then maybe Brie says in December, I helped you win because I want that belt and I want to beat you for the belt, and that's why I helped you win it. I can see that they'll do that. So I'm gonna go with Nikki over AJ.
That's possible. That's definitely a possible scenario there.
Because really, I don't know where they go with it after AJ. I mean, and the fact that they've barely, the fact that they, I mean, even you can even tell the way AJ's even walking around and someone's like, yeah, just a few more days and I'm walking out of the company pretty much. My contract's up. I'm done.
Yeah.
And once again, I mean, that's what happened to the Great Khali. I mean, his contract was up, and they decided not to renew his contract because really he wasn't doing anything on the card in the shows. But and then Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt. It's funny how these two guys have fallen.
Yeah.
At least they're not on the Team Cena. It's funny. I was originally happy they weren't going to be on the Team Cena Team Authority one. Now I'm just
kind of like
I kind of wish they were now because maybe they would be more promoted heavily now. But I want to go Bray Wyatt. I really think Dean Ambrose has fallen so far right now. Yeah. I don't see him even coming back in this feud here. I think Bray wins, and maybe they get behind Bray more than Dean right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Plus, like, that was kind of like the big deal about him returning to Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe they're trying to reestablish him a little more. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and I mean that, and I mean,
Grant, Dean has not won a pay-per-view match in a very long time. But then again, so has Randy Orton. But yet the guy, the guy's still a top-tier guy somehow.
Yeah.
So actually, we're actually agreeing on everything right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing
So here it is: Team Authority, Team Cena. We know the stipulations. Team Authority loses, they lose power.
Yeah.
Team Cena.
Yeah.
With the whole firing stipulation, I'm just gonna go Team Cena. It's kind of like just have Team Cena win, right? I don't want to go for this bullshit on Raw where they find a loophole to keep all 5 of Team Cena employed after Survivor Series. Just have Cena win then. If you just want, and at the end of the day, I kind of want the Authority angle to end anyway. It's really no point anymore to the Authority angle.
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it'll end yet. I mean, I think they'll still. I want
Team Authority to win, but I'm just just have Team Cena win because I don't want to deal with any more firing bullshit from John Cena on Raw anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I know we don't want that, but I still think that WWE will have some weird way of working with that.
They always do, Tyler.
They always do. Yeah, so there'll be some kind of BS,
and it won't be the most creative way either. Yeah. For even somebody whose job is creative.
Yeah, I think. I think the story will continue, and eventually, like when Randy Orton comes back, whenever that may be, I mean, you have that part of it too. I think so.
Yeah.
See, there'll be some kind of shenanigans, I guess.
Well, obviously, people keep saying Orton might interfere because it's in St. Louis, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
It would be crazy if the hometown boy doesn't show up, especially if he turned babyface recently. Sheamus, obviously, look. Sheamus did not show up. He was still in the hospital. And maybe he's peeved that Cena already, granted, it wasn't Cena's call based on the storyline. It was 4 guys who came out and just decided the team of John Cena. And look, I said earlier here, look, you talk about how low the babyface side is right now. Look at the heel side of Orton turning babyface now.
Yeah.
It's Rollins, and then you got what? Rusev, maybe Kane, Mark
Mark
Henry. I mean, Luke Harper now.
Yeah, Luke Hart. Yeah,
Bray
Intercontinental
Wyatt,
champion.
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, and like I said earlier, Sheamus, even as a babyface, has gotten pretty stale.
Yeah.
I mean, but yet he's been protected. I mean, and I can see a beef where he just says, you know what, I got hurt. John didn't help me, and I'm gonna screw Team Cena out of a victory
Yeah.
in that. But so and like I said, he turns heel, and then he can maybe be the number 2 heel, maybe in the company then probably because he is still this protected guy probably.
Yeah. There's a lot that can happen certainly.
Yeah. I hope not too much happens, as I said earlier here.
Yeah.
But again, after watching Raw and seen Vince in the past, the guy's the M. Night Shyamalan of wrestling. He'll just swerve something to swerve it, whether it makes sense in the end or not.
Yeah.
And I said, it's bad M. Night Shyamalan, not good M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah. So, see, I would expect though, like in this match, like, the last 2 people on Team Cena would be Cena, of course, and Ryback. I would think.
Yeah.
Like,
Someone brought
and
me
on Team Authority,
someone brought me an
Rollins.
interesting way though for the feud, maybe that. And like I said, they want to push Ryback. Come on, if Ryback's feud with Triple H is his next feud, that's his next feud is against the Game.
It's pretty.
You got to build him up somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's a pretty good step forward.
So Cena, let's just say Cena, for some reason gets eliminated, which I think honestly that would be a good shocker. I think
it would. Yeah.
I think too many people expected John Cena to be the final guy against Seth Rollins here. So I said, look, it's not. Why don't you just do what we did in past Survivor Series matches? Have the team captain get eliminated eventually. It's not going to kill the team if the team captain got eliminated. But anyway, let's just say like Cena I don't know, gets curb stomped out of nowhere by Rollins. He gets pinfall. It's down to Ryback now. The guy who just came back in that, and he's taking on. The
world's on his shoulders here. He can knock off.
Yeah, he's taking
put the Authority out of power.
But it's 2-on-1 now. It's him against Rollins and I was gonna say Rusev probably just for the hell of it right now. I don't know.
Probably either Rusev or maybe Harper.
Yeah.
Either one of those guys.
But you know what I mean. It's down to these 2 now, and somehow, some way, Ryback overcomes the odds and wins. It's different than maybe John Cena overcoming the odds and winning.
Yeah, I mean, with Cena, it's like we've been there, seen that.
And it also gives Triple H a reason to have a grudge with Ryback. He's the reason why he's out of a job right now, pretty much. Yeah, when you think about it. I mean, instead of John Cena winning, he can actually say like, "Oh, Ryback's the reason why I actually got screwed out of a job." It wasn't John Cena. John was out of the match at that point. Ryback's the guy that won the match. He's the reason why I'm out of the job. I'm going to make this guy's career a living hell, pretty much.
Yeah.
Even if I don't have really authority anymore, I'm still the Game.
Yeah. However that comes about.
Exactly though, but it's a brilliant idea. I think it's a swerve, but it's a good swerve.
Yeah. I mean, I'd buy into that definitely.
Like I said, if you want people to take Ryback serious, he has to do something that's worthwhile. Because as of right now, all he's really done is he's beating up people, and let's just say
a couple things, and then
and he's made a few
just
words
stand there and let everybody else talk, and
yeah.
They got to do more there.
So like I said, I'll go Team Cena. You have Team Authority. So,
but yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of different endings that could make it. Yeah, and if Team Cena does win, that'd be the route I would go with. Ryback, basically how you just illustrated it.
But you are sticking with Team Authority.
But I think overall, all in all, right now, I'd have to predict Team Authority.
Despite the whole Team Cena firing.
Yeah, I mean, because it'll be. Yeah, I mean, we've seen it before, but I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll wait and see. I'd rather be surprised.
I think
that
they screwed themselves with that angle because I think there's going to be a lot less people watching this pay per view now.
Maybe, I mean,
you tell me that there's going to be little John Cena fans that are actually going to buy into the fact that John Cena might get fired again.
Yeah.
Seriously, I get these kids are 10 and 8, but they have followed the past few years of Raw and know that when Cena is involved in these angles, he's never really fired.
Yeah.
He's never really gone.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll tune into that this weekend and see what goes down.
Yeah.
For the Survivor Series pay-per-view, and then as usual discuss it next week on the Great Wrestling Debate, and I guess what happens on Raw. If there's actual firings or whether it be Team Cena or the Authority, it'll be interesting to see what happens, and then then we'll discuss it next week as always. So yeah, thanks for tuning in to the Great Wrestling Debate, and yeah, we'll talk to you next week.